Beautiful Buffalo River, more precious than silver and gold, a painting that hangs on a mountain for all of the world to behold. The smile of the Almighty Giver, impressed on the Ozarks sublime, fashioned by young Mother Nature and sculptured by old Father Time. Beautiful Buffalo River, glimmering there in the sun, that's Uncle Sam's blue ribbon to show that the people have won. Beautiful Buffalo River, the flag of the mountains unfurled, Arkansas's gift to the nation, America's gift to the world. The dream of the lovers of nature who care for our posterity, they'd love to see beautiful rivers keep flowing through eternity. The mount of the greatest of riders, her saddle a gliding canoe. Sometimes she will carry you gently, sometimes she will bid you adieu. Beautiful Buffalo River, glimmering there in the sun, that's Uncle Sam's blue ribbon to show that the people have won. Beautiful Buffalo River, the flag of the mountains unfurled, Arkansas's gift to the nation, America's gift to the world. The hope of the foes of destruction, of mountains and valleys and plains, with faith that a new generation will save Mother Nature's remains. Now she's a national river, the pride of all races of men, a free-flowing beauty forever, forever and ever, amen. Beautiful Buffalo River, glimmering there in the sun, that's Uncle Sam's blue ribbon to show that the people have won. Beautiful Buffalo River, the flag of the mountains unfurled, Arkansas's gift to the nation, America's gift to the world. Grandpa used to work all day to make a little money, then climb on a load of hay and go to see his honey. Swing high, swing low, with a do-si-do-si-do. We would dance in June in the light of the moon on the banks of the Buffalo. Swing high, swing low, don't forget to swing, Grandma. We would dance old Joe with a hidey-ho in the hills of Arkansas. Hear the banjos ring while the young folks sing as the fiddler plays away. Swing your partner tight if it takes all night till break of day. Swing high, swing low, with a do-si-do-si-do. We would dance in June by the light of the moon on the banks of the Buffalo. Hear that mountain music play, the Ozark Mountain Tango. Salute your gal and fly away in the Arkansas Fandango. Swing high, swing low, with a do-si-do-si-do. We would dance in June by the light of the moon on the banks of the Buffalo. Swing high, swing low, don't forget swing, Grandma. We would dance old Joe with a hidey-ho in the hills of Arkansas. Hear the banjos ring while the young folks sing as the fiddler plays away. Swing your partner tight if it takes all night till break of day. Swing high, swing low, with a do-si-do-si-do. We would dance in June by the light of the moon on the banks of the Buffalo. Floating on the Buffalo in the sunset's afterglow, there's no place that thrills me so. 'Tis the a heaven where I'd love to go. Visions of a happy day, merry hours to while away. There where all is bright and gay, 'tis the beautiful Ozarks I say. Beautiful Ozarks filled with delight, under the moon a lovely night, floating along a beautiful sight, oh that I shall be. There where the flowers are blooming, songbirds so sweetly are crooning, and in my dreams so often it seems the beautiful Ozarks I see. Oh, that I may linger here, hours of bliss my heart to cheer, in the land of love so near, the beautiful Ozarks so dear. Happy days soon pass away, when I must be on my way, I'll return another day to the beautiful Ozarks to stay. Beautiful Ozarks filled with delight, under the moon a lovely night, floating along a beautiful sight, oh that I shall be. There where the flowers are blooming, songbirds so sweetly are crooning, and in my dreams so often it seems the beautiful Ozarks I see. Take my vacation in the hills, I'll go eating where they've really got the thrills. Cornbread, pone and lima beans, buttermilk and turnip greens. When I take my vacation in the hills, when I take my vacation in the hills. Gonna catch a great big catfish by the gills, going hunting with that good old dog of Bill's. Eat that huckleberry pie, drink that good old mountain rye. When I take my vacation in the hills, when I take my vacation in the hills. When I paddle my canoe by rippling rills, you can bet your life I'm gonna get some spills. Everyone would be surprised if I didn't get baptized. When I take my vacation in the hills, when I take my vacation in the hills. Gonna run around with all the Jacks and Jills, gonna go a-courting in the daffodils. Maybe I will get to play with little Abner's Daisy May. When I take my vacation in the hills, when I take my vacation in the hills. When they play that mountain music in the hills, in the land of mockingbirds and whippoorwills, every night I'll do-si-do on the banks of the Buffalo. When I take my vacation in the hills, when I take my vacation in the hills. Three old maids lived under the bluff, Chickalisha and a Shuffalo, in the Ozark Mountains, wild and rough on the rocky banks of the Buffalo. One day a wild man came along, Chick-a-lie should have shuffled low, and he tried to court them all day long on the rocky banks of the Buffalo. He said to the youngest, be my bride, Chick-a-lie should have shuffled, or I'll take your hair and take your hide on the rocky banks of the Buffalo. Before I'd be a wild man's bride, Chick-a-lie should have shuffled, oh, I'd lose my hair and lose my hide on the rocky banks of the Buffalo. He took her skin and he turned her loose. Chick-a-lie should have shuffled, oh, she looked just like a new pig goose on the rocky banks of the Buffalo. He said to the next one, be my wife, Chick-a-lie should have shuffled, or I'd take your hide and take your life on the rocky banks of the Buffalo. Before I'd be a wild man's wife, Chick-a-lie should have shuffled, or I'd lose my hide and I'd lose my life on the rocky banks of the Buffalo. He took her skin and he let her go. Chick-a-lie should have shuffled, or she danced all night on her heel and toe on the rocky banks of the Buffalo. He said to the oldest, be my squaw, Chick-a-lie should have shuffled, or I'll take your skin from a mother-in-law on the rocky banks of the Buffalo. She said, wild man, that cannot be. Chick-a-lie should have shuffled, oh, I'm a tough old maid and you can't skin me on the rocky banks of the Buffalo. He threw at her with his hunting knife. Chick-a-lie should have shuffled, oh, and bounced right back and took his life on the rocky banks of the Buffalo. She put the skins back on her kin. Chick-a-lie should have shuffled, oh, and they were twice as pretty and young again on the rocky banks of the Buffalo. The moral of this tale, old pal, Chick-a-lie should have shuffled, oh, don't ever get smart with a Ozark gal on the rocky banks of the Buffalo. On that river my grandfather wed the big chief's lovely daughter. He gave 100 horses to claim her as his bride. They raised a mighty family, the pride of all the Cherokee. When he died, she lay down by his side. Junadagea, Uwaya, where silver waters flow. Some call it a lover's river, some call it the Buffalo. Junadagea, Uwaya, that's where I love to go. Some call it a lover's river, some call it the Buffalo. From the caves on the hillside come the blowing of the buffalo, coming from that country that the white man never found. The breezes in the valley are the voices of our loved ones, coming from the happy hunting ground. Junadagea, Uwaya, where silver waters flow. Some call it a lover's river, some call it the Buffalo. Junadagea, Uwaya, that's where I love to go. Some call it a lover's river, some call it the Buffalo. Shining stars and clear waters are the eyes of true lovers. They gaze into our faces as we look into their eyes. When their spirits touch each other, their eyes begin to twinkle, casting their reflections in the skies. Junadagea, Uwaya, where silver waters flow. Some call it a lover's river, some call it the Buffalo. Junadagea, Uwaya, that's where I love to go. Some call it a lover's river, some call it the Buffalo. The world gate never closes to that mystic, happy hunting ground, to loyal, faithful lovers whose hearts are brave and true. Junadagea, Uwaya, will take you to that country, gliding in the soul of your canoe. Junadagea, Uwaya, where where silver waters flow. Some call it Lover's River, some call it the Buffalo. Jonadickia, ooh-way-ya, that's where I love to go. Some call it Lover's River, some call it the Buffalo. I used to live by an untamed river in a spot where life was a beautiful dream, a gift to man by the Almighty Giver. But now the Army engineers have turned my home to a vale of tears where only God could ever find that lovely stream. On the grassy banks of spring-fed waters, I washed my feet in the babbling brook. My father raised his sons and daughters, and where he grew his fields of corn, went to church on Sunday morn, I can only see in memory's picture book. Where, oh, where is the river gone? It used to sing so sweetly from the darkness to the dawn. I'd love to see it rolling on. Oh, where, oh, where, oh, where, oh, where is the river gone? The flowers blooming in the valley, all the lovely things Mother Nature gave, the sacred spot where I love pretty Sally, they are always on my mind. I know I'll never find, for they are gone forever to a watery grave. If we could save one untamed river for the millions yet unborn to see, we'd be akin to the Almighty Giver. And when my race on earth was done, I could face that setting sun, knowing God and all the world was proud of me. Where, oh, where is the river gone? It used to sing so sweetly from the darkness to the dawn. I'd love to see it rolling on. Oh, where, oh, where, oh, where, oh, where is the river gone? Along about 1800, I guess, it took me a trip into the wilderness. Across the Mississippi, let my rifle roar. No white man had ever been there before. I turned my face to the setting sun, and I lived by my knife and I lived by my gun. I came to a river called the Little Buffalo and met a pretty maiden called Mooshatanio. Mooshatanio, Mooshatanio, I hugged her and I kissed her on the Little Buffalo. Mooshatanio, Mooshatanio, the big chief's daughter was a Mooshatanio. A brave called buzzard and a brave called crow and a brave called hawk loved the Mooshatanio. They had a big battle with the arrow and the bow, and the hawk shot the buzzard and the buzzard shot the crow. The hawk and I went a-hunting on the hill, and I knew it was me he was wanting to kill. I left Himalayan where the honeysuckles grow and said goodbye to my Mooshatanio. Mooshatanio, Mooshatanio, I hugged her and I kissed her on the Little Buffalo. Oh, Mooshatanio, Mooshatanio, the big chief's daughter was a Mooshatanio. I went back home, my mother to see, and stayed 30 years in Middle Tennessee. When I got back to the Little Buffalo, they showed me the grave of the Mooshatanio. The young chief's heart was brave and true, his hair was red and his eyes were blue. His father and his mother, he let me know, was the great Whitebeard and the Mooshatanio. Mooshatanio, Mooshatanio, he was my son, but I couldn't let him know. Mooshatanio, Mooshatanio, the great Whitebeard and the Mooshatanio. Mooshatanio, Mooshatanio, I hugged her and I kissed her on the Little Buffalo. Mooshatanio, Mooshatanio, the big chief's daughter was a Mooshatanio. was standing on Point Peter early in the morn. Way down on the river, I thought I heard a horn. I knowed it was a steamboat, and when she hove in sight, I knowed she took the left hand where the buffalo meet the white. She passed the mouth of a rich land, riding on the swell. She tore on through the canebrake like a bull bat out of hell. My friend, she was a beauty, so long and tall and sleek. She bloated old Mount Hersey, then she took up Davis Creek. I plumb forgot to tell you, there was an awful flood. The valleys all were water and the mountain tops were mud. I wondered if the time had come when the lovely buffalo was a deep and rugged channel in the Gulf of Mexico. The pilot, he was crazy, he had moonshine on the brain. He fired her up with pine knots, then he took off in the rain. The rain, she got so heavy, the clouds, they got so low. The steamboat left the creek, into the heaven she did go. The embers from the smokestack and the rainfall from the wheel, with lightning and with thunder, caused the boat to rock and reel. And when she came to earth again, there was an awful sound. The trees went up to heaven and the boat went underground. You know it must have happened, or it never could have been. Don't tell me that you doubt it if you want to be my friend. She went down in the ground and pushed the earth away up far. We call her Steamboat Mountain, you can see her from afar. Me and Lem Briggs and old Bill Brown taking a load of corn to town. My old Jim Dog, the darned old cuss, he just naturally followed us. As we drove by Sam Johnson's store, a passel of curs came out the door. Jimmy scooted behind the box, and all them fellers are throwing rocks. And every time I go to town, the boys keep kicking my dog around. Makes no difference if he is a hound, you gotta quit kicking my dog around. They tied a can to old Jim's tail and run him around the county jail. That made us a dad burn sore. Lem, he cussed, and Bill, he swore. Me and Lem Briggs and old Bill Brown lost no time a getting down. We lost them fellers on the ground and kicking my old Jim Dog around. Every time I go to town, the boys keep kicking my dog around. Makes no difference if he is a hound, you gotta quit kicking my dog around. Jim saw his duty there, and then he tore into them gentlemen. He sure messed up the courthouse square with rags and meat and hide and hair. The sheriff came and stopped the fuss, and all them boys shook hands with us. We gathered round that load of corn, and every man had a healthy horn. Every time I go to town, the boys keep kicking my dog around. Makes no difference if he is a hound, you gotta quit kicking my dog around. Old Jim Dog ain't worth much cash, but I can tell you he ain't no trash. He wakes me up for the break of day, and he keeps them revenue boys away. He's the best old dog you ever did see. Wherever I go, he follers me. His voice is sweet, his name is Jim. He'd fight for me and I'd fight for him. And every time I'd go to town, the boys keep kicking my dog around. Makes no difference if he is a hound, you gotta quit kicking my dog around. When I was a hunter on the wild buffalo, down the White River a-courtin' I'd go. I'd find me a lassie on the old Mississippi to ease the bad pain that I had in my lip. Lip fever, it's a terrible thing. It eats on your liver and it gnaws on your brain. It causes a man and his money to part. And lip fever is worse when you have no sweetheart. When I was a trader on the old Rackensack, I courted courted a squaw and she courted me back. A brave drew his knife and I heard the chief say, he's got the lip fever, don't fight him today. Lip fever, it's a terrible thing. It eats on your liver and it gnaws on your brain. It causes a man and his money to part. And lip fever is worse when you have no sweetheart. It's caused men to laugh and it's caused men to cry. It's caused men to live and it's caused men to die. It's caused some good women to act like a mule. Of many a wise man it's made a damn fool. Lip fever, it's a terrible thing. It eats on your liver and it gnaws on your brain. It causes a man his money to part. And lip fever is worse when you have no sweetheart. Oh, what would I give if tonight I could go down the White River from the wild buffalo? I'd give all my fortune from travel and trade to give the lip fever to another fair maid. Oh, lip fever, it's a terrible thing. It eats on your liver and it gnaws on your brain. It causes a man and his money to part. And lip fever is worse when you have no sweetheart. Young brave on the Buffalo River, he fell in love with the queen of the hills. She stole his heart and she stole his liver. They got married and he never did forgive her. Loved her in the dark, loved her in the light, loved her in the day and loved her every night. Since that time all the hillbillies know you can't keep loving on the river Buffalo. You can't keep loving on the river Buffalo. Woman in Kalamazoo, the doctor said your love lies through. Away to the Ozarks they did go, and the love bug bit 'em on the river Buffalo. Love in the dark, love in the light, love every day and love every night. Since that time all the city billies know you can't keep loving on the river Buffalo. You can't keep loving on the river Buffalo. They've made her a national river. The Buffalo belongs to the lovers of the world. When your boat begins to rock and your heart begins to quiver, old Mother Nature is ready to deliver. Love in the dark, love in the light, love every day and love every night. The folks who live in the Ozarks know you can't keep loving on the river Buffalo. You can't keep loving on the river Buffalo.